I thought it starts at First Lawrence because he says that's where he was assaulted, inside that complex.
Yes, that's the reason why I'm saying my lord, that you will have to indicate with
fine.
precision the spot where he says the assault took place. But as to the movement from here to the entrance of First Lawrence, that is what I need to ascertain if you be comfortable if the police will be leading or will be doing the driving, can take this court up to that point, and then from there, then he starts to direct the road to what, or we can simply drive up to the spot, up to that complex, because that's a very big complex, and then arriving at that complex, then he would then say, no, from here I'll then give direction as to exactly the spot where I was taken to and later on assaulted.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I would have to take instructions from him later.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramasipedi?
As the court proceeds, I think the instruction is Mr. Mrs. instruction, but just to add on, my lord, the two occasions when he said he was assaulted, the first one, for direction purposes, he said he was from Villeria to, on the 5th of June, from Villeria to Albertine, then to that spot where he allegedly was assaulted. And then on the 30th of June, it was from Tembisa to Fosdoras, then where he was also allegedly assaulted. So for direction purposes, my lord, I believe that perhaps but direction will be taken from him and instructions. If the convoy drives from here up to the entrance of Fosdoras, then he can take it from there, my lord, as the court pleases.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Momal.
Morning, madam.
Morning.
Thank you. I have no instructions. I have no instructions. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Mshalo.
As the court is allowed, I have no instructions from accused number 5.
Yes, the state, what's your view?
As a court case, my lord, if I can just maybe briefly start with the provisions of the law regarding the holding of an inspection in document. This is provided for in section 169 of the Criminal Procedure Act, 51 of 1977. It allows a court to visit a place or examine an object relevant to a case to better understand the evidence presented. And this is a valuable tool for courts to gain first-hand insight and clarify facts in dispute, particularly when physical evidence cannot easily be brought to the courtroom. And the purpose and procedure, maybe I'll just wait for the accused to come to the box. May I start all over?
Yeah, please.
My lord, the procedure that we're about to embark upon, namely inspection in Loco, is provided for in section 169 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. It allows a court to visit a place or examine an object relevant to a case to better understand the evidence presented. And this is a valuable tool for courts to gain first-hand insight and clarify facts in dispute, particularly when physical evidence cannot easily be brought to the courtroom. And the purpose and procedure The primary purpose of an inspection in Loco is to help the court to understand the evidence, including oral testimony and real evidence presented during the trial. It allows the court to observe the scene or object firsthand, potentially resolving conflicting accounts or interpretation of the evidence. Now, the next observation, my lord, is as to what happens at the inspection in Loco. Says the court should meticulously record its observations during the inspection, allowing both parties to comment on them. This is now the state and the defense. Says further, the inspection is a supplementary tool and should not replace the need for proper evidence gathering and presentation. And another observation, important observation, my lord, is that the court's observations during the inspection becomes part of the record and are crucial for a fair and transparent process. And the other observation is equally important, my lord. There is access and limitations. Inspections are typically conducted at the scene of the incident or where the relevant object is located. The court may be accompanied by parties to the case, witnesses, and relevant experts to ensure proper understanding. And the court's observation should be interpreted in light of the evidence presented and the arguments made by both sides. That, in short, my lord, is the purpose of today's exercise.
Okay. Yeah, let Mr. Jonas apprise the gentleman of what has transpired before they came in.
Ngaphambi kokuthi ningeneke inkantolo isinikeze ithuba kubameli kanye nomshushisi ukuthi bashoke ukuthi sihlangane ngani namuhla. Usukumileke uadvocate umnisi wathi nanjengoba-ke esho noma ashilo umnumzane Sibiya phambi kwale nkantolo ukuthi-ke kunendawo ethizeni la athathwa amiswa kuyona-ke la ashaywa khona sikhuluma ngamalanga amabili-ke la i-30 zikaMeyi kanye neyi-5 zikaJuni. Ukuthi-ke kune-sport esithize-ke manje-ke isicelo ukuthi-ke sihambe kuhanjwe-ke kuleyo ndawo la ekuzoba kuyena-ke umnumzane Sibiya-ke ozosho-ke ukuthi-ke yila engashayelwa khona. Wakusho-ke nokuthi akanaso isiqinisekiso sokuthi-ke ukusuka la ePitoli ukuya kuleyo ndawo umnumzane Sibiya uba kusimo yini noma uzokwazi yini ukuthi-ke asho-ke ukuthi akuhanjwe kanjani noma-ke kusuke lana kuhanjwe kuyiwe la ekungenwa khona noma-ke phecelezi-ke i-entrance yakhona ephosphorus bese-ke usuka lapho kuyiwe-ke kuleyo ndawo leyo ekulakhona-ke umnumzane uSibiya ezosho khona-ke ezoyikhomba-ke indawo le akhuluma ngayo. Ukushilo-ke ukuthi khona-ke kusafanele akhazululeke noma-ke akhulumisane naye-ke umnumzane Sibiya ukuthi nje kucace ukuthi-ke uzokwazi yini ukuthi-ke akhombise noma-ke akhombe indlela. Usukumile-ke ubaba uDamusipile ezama ukuthi alekeleleke yena-ke ubaba umnyisi ngokuthi-ke okokuqala umnumzane Sibiya washo ukuthi wasuswa eValeria wahanjiswa waya e-Albertine bese kusuka lapho-ke yila ekwayiwa kuleyo ndawo le athi kuyona ashayelwa kuyona. Sikhuluma ngazo i-5 zikaJuni bese kuthi ngeyi-30 wasuka-ke ethembisa ukuya ephosphorus. Umnumzane uNomali uthe cha akukho yena-ke angakusho kodaba naye-ke u-advocate Mshololo bese sukuma-ke u-advocate uBaloyi echazela-ke manje inkantolo nomuntu wonke ukuthi-ke ukhona-ke umthetho omayelana-ke nalo daba lolu obhekene ngalo namuhla. Wase-ke esho-ke ukuthi-ke usection 169 ka-51 kuya no-1977 ivumela-ke inkantolo ukuthi-ke iye kuleyo ndawo leyo ekukhulunywa ngayo ukuthi-ke ikuzwisise kahle ubufakazi uma kuwukuthi-ke kukhona la ekungaziwana khona noma-ke ekuphikiswana khona-ke futhi-ke lokho kuhambisana nalo icala. Uma kukhona-ke ekuphikiswana ngako ukuxazulula lokho-ke ukufanele kuyiweke kwenziwe lokho okubizwa ukuthi phecelezi-ke iyona-ke i-inspection. Ikakhulukazi-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke ubufakazi lokho akusuka ubufakazi obungakwazi ukuthi-ke uze phambi kwenkantolo, inkantolo ikubone, nokuthi futhi-ke kuxazululeke ubufakazi lobo, nokuthi konke uma sekufika lapho phambili-ke konke okubonwayo noma uma kukhonjwa-ke kufanele kubhalwe phansi yonke into, futhi-ke nokuthi-ke inkantolo ivumeleke ishushisi kanye futhi nabameli uma kukhona abafisa ukusho ibanikeze lelo thuba lelo ukuthi bakusho-ke. Naloko inkantolo ebonayo laphayana kuyona-ke inspection kufanele nabo kube yingxenye yobufakazi obuphambi kwayo inkantolo, nokuthi leyo mthetho uyasho ukuthi obaniki abavumelekileyo ukuthi bahambeke noma baye kuyona-ke inspection yilabo abayingxenye yalo-ke icala lelo eliqulwayo phambi kwenkantolo, nokuthi futhi okwenzekayo khona lapho kufanele kuhunyushwe noma-ke kuxoliwe.
Yeah. Procedurally, the state and the defense, I'm only aware of 2 witnesses, unless you say there are others, the Brigadier Keninda and Mr. Sibiya, because the incident, yes, I understand the evidence apparently affects only them. I know that initially before Keninda, Brigadier, came onto the scene, it was Mokhane who was there. Are you going to pursue it? Mokhola, sorry. Are you going to pursue it? You must tell me how you want to pursue it. How many witnesses is Nanda with?
She will be there as well.
She will be there.
If the court gives its blessing, yes.
Yeah, because it's now 2 incidences. When we adjourned, it was apparently 1, you remember? But today they say it's 2 incidences. The first one is the 5th of June, and the other one is the 30th of... It's the other way, actually.
Yes.
The 30th of May,
Yes.
and the 5th of June.
But it's the same spot.
Yeah, fine. Yes. But the actors, are they the same?
Well, I think they'll have to clarify that. But as far as I'm concerned, in essence, yes. The participants will be the same. But as I say, subject to confirmation.
Okay, fine. Yes, Mr. Mnisi. Your witnesses.
As it is a
Yeah.
court, my lord, it will only be Mr. Sibiya.
Mr. Sibiya.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Inkantolo ixazulula udaba lofakazi ukuthi-ke njengoba kukhulunyiwe ngofakazi useyaphendula-ke advocate umnisi ukuthi cha kuzoba umnumzane Sibiya kuphela noma gambe uyena-ke ozoba ufakazi ozosho noma ozokhomba.
Any other thing arising from what we've just said? You want to place on record?
As it is a
Issue.
court, my lord, I don't have anything. I would have requested the indulgence to approach.
Yeah,
Mr.
you said you
Sibiya
wanted to
on the process.
approach your client. You can do so.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the indulgence, my lord. Mr. Sibiya says from here we need to take the R21 to the airport. I think it's R21 North, and then from the airport, and then from the R21 we are going to join N12. From N12, then we'll be joining the N3. and then we'll be driving up until we see the Fort Lawrence off-ramp, and then we get into the Fort Lawrence Township. From Fort Lawrence, as we're driving to the Fort Lawrence Township, he says he would then start to give direction to the people who is with him in the car. But in a sense, he is saying we need to drive to that Gold Spot shopping complex, but particularly the municipal offices, the municipality offices at that shopping complex. And then from there, we need to stop, and then he will walk us to exactly the spot where he says he was assaulted.
Yeah, okay. Except that the security details of how we get there will be conducted by the security complement, because those arrangements have already been made. Am I correct, Mr. Baloi? Yes. How we get there, maybe they're going to give us a helicopter, I don't know. Yeah, so can they adjourn a bit, and then we have the security guys coming in to come in. Can you explain to the gentleman that for security reasons, they must adjourn, and then the security complement will come and brief the court how we get there and what we're going to do and how we're going to travel.
Ngemva kokuthi-ke ubabunisi esetshele inkantolo ukuthola kona-ke ukuthi sizohamba kanjani kuyofika khona laphayana le ndawo esikhuluma ngayo, nangokushiwo ukuthi kusuka la sizohamba ngo-R21 ku-N12 u-N3 bese siyongena-ke Fort Lawrence off-ramp bese siyangena-ke elokishini khona. Ukusuka lapho usuzosho-ke wena ukuthi uhambe kanjani. Inkantolo ithi-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke manje ukuthi-ke nizothatha mina-ke bese niyahanjiswa yezansi bese kuthi laba-ke okuyibona abazohola-ke noma abazosho ukuthi kuzohanjwa kanjani bazobe sebengena-ke ngaphakathi enkantolo sebetshela inkantolo-ke ukuthi-ke kuzohanjwa kanjani ukuthi kuyofikwa-ke khona lapho. Kodwa manje-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke ukuthi bazohamba nani banise ezansi ngaphambi kokuthi bangene-ke lapho kufanele ukuthi bangene bazotshela inkantolo. Siyabonga.
Well, so maybe just before I adjourn, maybe clarity as to whether the media is allowed to accompany the court.
What is your submission?
Well, this is largely the request of the defense, so I think we need to be guided by that. But we don't really have an objection from our side.
Yes.
I think it's a call that must be made by the people.
Yes, Mr. Nisi, what should we do about the media?
Thank you, my Lord. Insofar as the security briefing is concerned, I'm of the view that it should only be the court personnel.
It should only be?
The court personnel. In other words, the court himself, members of the court, which are the defense team, probably the security cluster, to the exclusion of the media house. Well, insofar as them being at the place of the inspection in Loco, that would be their own taking. But for purposes of the security briefing, I'm of the view that they should excuse us.